Well, good morning and welcome to Zen Live. Used to be called Buddha's in Your Landfill or Zen Live or Ideas That Can Change Your World. So, thank you for dropping in this morning. And I hope, if you're following me and following these talks, the morning one and the evening one, I hope you get a sense that this is a voyage of discovery that we're walking together. I'm discovering something every day, and I share it with you. And it's in this space here, this relationship, this hole in the everyday world, this empty space, this relationship that discovery happens. Because I come here to this space and I surrender to it. I have a few ideas. I get an inspiration. I'm on the front porch reading. I've been reading with great interest and revelation, The Crack in the Cosmic Egg by Joseph Chilton Pearce. And you can tell it's one of my old books because it's all coming apart. The pages are brown and the print is really small, and there's no room in the margins to write, and there's no space. I have to really, focus to read it. But revelation, discovery is the most exciting thing. The most exciting thing to be alive is to discover. And we discover in relationship where there's an agreement and a sharing of the discovering as it happens. If we're very fortunate, if we have a few relationships in our life where in that relationship you create a world and then both live in it mutually. Usually we only think of this as being in love. So in love, two people create a world and mutually live in it. The one that is two. But we only think, well, it's falling in love. So if we're not in love, we feel like, I'm missing something. So I want to get back and get up, either gin up the old one or make a new one, you see. But what we're really hungering for is that relationship that creates a one that is two, a share, and no one else may know about it. And now we get to the way. So I call this talk today, Followers of the Way. And there's no better way than the way of Jesus. But few, it's a narrow gate. You can't find the way of Jesus. You can't go through the narrow gate in a crowd, in a church. Although the church says the church is the narrow way, but then you want to go into the elevator door with a crowd. You can't get in there. You can't get in the elevator in a group. You see, so that's not the narrow way. But then at the same time, Jesus says, you just need two for the body of Christ. So what's this body of Christ? The kingdom of heaven, this magical space where two become one. That's what it's about, where two become one. So if we have a friend, usually we call it a good friend. So we're in trouble and the world is screwed up and I'm stuck in these double binds. I use this all the time. We're stuck in these double binds where everything is lose-lose. If I choose this, I'm screwed. If I choose that, I'm screwed. I don't know what to do. So we go find a friend. And we just talk. And there's no judgment in that relationship. And usually in that relationship, you discover the narrow way. You discover the way out of the double bind. You discover the way out of the dilemma. And you know what to do. But there was no telling you of what to do. If we go to the friend and say, you tell me what to do, that's not what we're talking about. That's not the narrow way. If I go to the friend and say, I don't know what to do, give me advice, which is usually what we do, and then the poor friend gives you advice, and then you go do what, that's not the narrow way. That's following your friend's path. See, in Krishnamurti, in the mystical traditions, in Zen, the narrow way, in Zen it's called the Gateless Gate. The narrow way is the pathless path. Krishnamurti says truth is the pathless path. Well, that's a paradox. There's a path, but it's not a path. It's the narrow way. What is it? We look around. Everybody offers us a path. Trump gives you a path. There's the liberal path, the conservative path, political paths. Alternate realities are paths. Alex Jones is a path. Alt-right is a path. Breitbart is a path. We're creating paths like hurricanes. Everybody's looking at hurricane realities. Look at the Atlantic Ocean as a big media ocean, and all these little paths are like little hurricanes growing, you see. Oh, I'll go in that one, and then I spin around that. This, I just pulled this up. I'm getting a thing. This is a little Buddhist prayer wheel, and I just realized what it was. It looks like a little merry-go-round. It looks like a way. It looks like a world. It looks like a reality. I'm spinning a world here. I'm spinning a reality. Reminds me of Inception. I'm spinning a dream. I'm spinning a dream, you see. And as long as I keep spinning it, it keeps going. But if I stop putting energy into it, it stops. It stops. Oh, I've lost the way. Let me get it going again. I'm in love again. I'm in love again. Oh, the love is not holding up. The love is not holding up. Oh, it's gone. I got to get in love again. I got to get the way again. I got to get it. The more I put into it, the more it goes. Oh, yes, I'm back, I'm back, I'm back. But I'm getting tired. I'm getting old. I'm getting old, and I'm going to renew this. Oh, my God. I got to get it up again. I got to get another job. I got to create another world. I got to create another idea, another reality. I'm going to build a house. I'm going to have a baby. I'm going to create this job. I'm going to do this project. I'm going to paint the house, but I'm running out of energy, and I'm going to die. And so it goes. Isn't that interesting? So what is the way? Okay, well, I come here to share you the way. Now, when I come here, I surrender to the way. Now, there are two things, now let's talk about Jesus. Jesus is the way. Okay. Well, there's a misperception of the way when we think the way is something. The way is the reality. That reality has the way. You're in high school. What's the way? Oh, become an architect. That's the way. So now I go to school and become an architect. That's the way I choose. But that's already created. So all the ways that we choose are created by somebody else. So it's their way. And then I try to fit into it. But it doesn't feel like my way. What is my way? I don't know what my way is. What am I supposed to do, God? What's my way? What's my service? What is it, Jesus? What's the way? So then the religion comes along and says, well, we're the way. But then you got all these different religions. And then you got subsets of each religion. Every church is a way. Every church gives a different spin to it, you see. A different spin. This is my way. News. False news, fake news. What's the way? We'll spin away, you see. I'll spin up a way. Isn't that interesting? I'll spin up a way. And so we end up in a world full of ways, none of which are satisfactory. Why is that? We're missing the way. We're missing something. What is the way? So I come here to this space with you and me. Don't tell anybody we're here. It's just you and me, you see. Nobody will know that we're in the way. And the way is creative. So this is the way Jesus was pointing to. Create the way. I am the way. Well, if you really look at what Jesus was doing, he didn't create a church. It didn't exist. The way of the church didn't exist until after Jesus. The way of Buddhism as a huge system didn't exist when Buddha was teaching. Buddha says, I'm the way. Jesus says, I'm the way. You see. So, is there one way or two ways? Is there one way or many ways? There's only one way. And this is what religion says. I'm the way and it's the only way. Jesus is the way and he's the only way. Buddha's no way. Yoga's no way. All these other New Age, all this other stuff is no way. I'm the way. This is the way. And that's wrong. It's missing the point. It's creating a path as form and then saying you conform, get on this elevator, we're going up. But the elevator's already been for you. And you jam up in there. All these other, it must be the way because everybody else is getting on it. Whoa, oh, look at all these people getting in here. Look at all these people in this big church. It must be the way. Otherwise, these people wouldn't be here. So you all jam in there together. But something's missing. You didn't create it. So the way is the way of creativity. So the way of Jesus is two principles. Serving, there is no way but that of service. So you don't create the way unless somebody needs it. There must be a need there. That's primary. Number two is total surrender to the creative process. That's all you need. A need, oh wow, look at all those people. I come up with an idea that will serve all those people. And then you devote yourself to the idea, the process, and you create that idea. And then all those people are served. But then, when the need goes away, the idea goes away. Now you might have a choice here. All right, so the way was I created an idea that serves these people. And then I may, if I want, live in that idea and run it. Why, I might become the preacher of that idea. I might become the minister of that idea. I might become the administrator of that. I might become the CEO of that idea. I might become the master, the runner. Now I'm in it. And after a while I say, oh God, I just created this idea and now it's creating me. I got to stay here. I'm 9 to 5. And now I got all these problems and worries and the things coming apart and I got to get fundraising and I got to get all this, hire all these people and it's getting bigger and now I got people wanting to change it and now it's starting to fall apart and oh my God, why did I do this in the first place? So there we go. We create an idea and then we create a world and then live in it. I have an idea for a house. Oh my God, it's going to be a beautiful house. And I devote all myself to the process of building that house. And then I build it and now I'm going to live in it. Oh, heaven on earth. I'm living in the reality I created. And that lasts for a while, but then, it's not quite big enough. We need to, I don't know, I think I'll sell it. You see. So there's the creating or the cook. Creating recipes. Oh, this one is everybody. This is really great. So let's have a business. So now I got a business. Now I got to run the business for that one recipe. So you see there, right there, there is the way of creativity, and then now some people never live in what the reality they would create. They just keep creating the realities. They're in love with the way. Well, I know where that came from. I can create another one. That's the artist way. The artist is in love with creativity. So you just keep popping those babies out. Some women love with being a mother. You just keep popping them babies out. Love with the creative way means you just keep on creating. You don't live in what you create. If you live in what you create, with an artist, it's kind of like there's a picture of, I forgot his name, Saturday Evening Post pictures, but he's a picture of the artist being painted by the artist. So you create something and then it creates you if you live in it. If you create a world and then live in it, it's going to change you in ways you didn't know. There's an interaction here, you see. But the artist then, who doesn't live in his painting, just keeps creating new arts. He creates something, lets it go. It has its own life. Sell it, put it in the attic, I don't care. I know where that came from. I just create more. It just pours out. The creative process is unlimited, inexhaustible spring. And I really feel this is the way of Jesus, opening up the stream of creativity in the service of others. Opening up the way so that you create ideas, things, businesses, art, services, whatever. Help for other people. Or just creating an open space where people can come and discover themselves. Just creating friendships, just creating a family where people can grow and discover themselves and discover their own way. So we have to create, but when you are in the way, the narrow way means that it's narrow because there is no one way. And this is where the modern age, postmodernism, has brought itself. I've been a lot of thinking about this and the fact that we seem to be in a world where everybody's creating a reality and then living in it and then trying to get other people to live in it. Alt-right is a reality. Come live it here with me. This is the way. Trump is a creative reality. Come live in here with me and Trump and my rallies. This is the way. Every politician or the party or new is creating a way. So we're spinning waves like crazy, like hurricanes on the flat ocean of the media. Each one invite, come, this is the way. I got a cult. A cult is a way. It can be a little cult, a big cult. Two people is a cult. If two people create a reality and then live in it, you just need two people. If there's just one person, he's crazy. Nobody wants to live in there with him. He's nuts. But if he gets two people, he might get three. He might get four. He might get five. You see, in the way, there is a shared reality. And that shared reality is a feedback loop. A shared reality shares energy. Whoa, you get two people that sharing an idea, it can change the world. It can change the world because it begins to grow like a hurricane. Feedback, energy, feeding more, feeding in, you see. It creates a reality. But the mistake is that is the belief that what you create is the way. That's not the way. The way is the creative process. So you just but the way, what you create, in order for this to happen, has to be in service of people. If it's in service of you, you're not the way. And you're not going to tap into the creative energy of the universe. The creative energy of the universe, of the way, is the same energy that God created the world with. If you don't want to use God, say the cosmos. The cosmos creates itself. It's energy, creating itself anew. So when you tap into that, you're tapping into the energy that creates the world, not in the past, but now. The world is creating itself now. It's energy creating itself. And then we create a world out of that energy and then live in it. The mistake is that we think the world we created is substantially real and exists outside of us. But that's an illusion. The illusion is that the world I create does exist outside of the Creator. That's why we get back to this. If I create a world, I got to keep spinning it. If I stop spinning it, it goes down. And the world goes away. Each of us is a world. When we're born, we start spinning it. And we build it up, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And then we retire, and it begins to get weaker. And I can't put any more energy into it. And now I'm going to a nursing home. And now it's gone. I created a world, and I took it with me. Think back about all the worlds we knew. The world my mother lived in. The world I lived in with my father and mother, our parents. All the worlds and their aunts and uncles and the history and the heritage of my family and your family. And it goes back. And we remember these worlds when they were once spinning. And now they're dead. And these worlds are gone. And we have pictures. And the grandchildren say, who are these people? I don't know. There's nobody spinning the world. There's nobody spinning the world, you see. So, this is the way. Understand that you're spinning worlds and that the world you spin is not the real world. What's real is the spinner. What's real is he or she who creates the world. The creative process is the only truth, is the only thing that is absolutely exists, is the creative process. The verb, not the noun. The spinner, not that which is spun, you see. When you realize that, then you're free. Then you're Zorba, and you're free to dance. You're free from the worlds you have spun, and you're free from the worlds other people have spun, because you are the co-creator of reality. And you know where these worlds come from. They come from you, because you're the center of the world. And the world is you. So, anyway, thank you for visiting this little free space here where we can discover together and discover the way. The narrow gate, the gateless gate, the pathless path. So, thank you for dropping in. See you this evening.